Hey friends, welcome back to Channel Surf with Jazz. If this is your first time here, my name is Jazz and I watch a shit ton of TV. And you guys know I have been recapping season 10 of The Real Housewives of Potomac. I've been trying to invite some of my favorite creators on to talk about the show with me. And today I have a creator. I think I became a follower of hers. I think it was before Love Island. Oh, yeah, she had a really cool take about like meeting celebrities in person and like how beautiful some people really are. And I was like, felt girl. And then she was also beautiful herself. So I was like, let me follow her. We hung out when I used to live in Philadelphia, and now I have her on to talk about the Real Housewives of Potomac. Welcome, my girl, Kristen. Hi, Kristen.
Hi, Jazz. Thank you for having me. And
You are so welcome.
I have followed you longer than you followed me. I have been following you on YouTube. I know you from when you were producing Carlos's podcast.
Oh
So
my gosh. Why did we never talk about that?
I don't know. No, I knew you before you even knew of me. So yeah.
Well, I'm glad that we are mutuals now, and it's so good to see you again. I want to talk about these ladies in Potomac, but before we do that, Kristen, I want to just let the audience get to know you a little bit. Some people might have seen you on TikTok. You are usually giving like a really good pop culture take, but they might not know anything personal about you. So, like, where'd you grow up? What's your story?
I grew up in South Carolina, so you probably still hear the accent. And I live in Philadelphia right now, but I've lived pretty much all over the East Coast. And yeah, I'm in my 30s. I'm 33. I have been watching reality TV since I was a teenager in middle school. I started watching Real Housewives of OC when the show premiered because I was a Desperate Housewives fan. So I've just been like a lifelong Real Housewives fan. And yeah, I love talking about reality TV. It's fun for me because I love shows about women. Ultimately, Real Housewives is a show about women and their relationships. And I just find that very fascinating.
I love that. And what are some of the other shows that you like to watch outside of The Real Housewives of Potomac?
Outside of Potomac, in terms of reality, I watch a lot of Bravo Peacock. I love Traders. I've done Big
Same.
Brother. I take breaks from Big Brother though. I love Love Island. I will do Love is Blind when it's a good season. I'll get into that. But yeah, mostly just reality TV. I listen to a lot of podcasts and a lot of like filmed podcasts and RuPaul's Drag Race. That's probably my number one show.
Oh my gosh, RuPaul's Drag Race. I love that show so much. I think I want to recap the next season, the next like regular season. I actually went to the movies today. I went to the plaza to see a movie called Queens of the Dead. And it's a movie about these drag queens who have to fight off a zombie attack inside of a club. Nina West from Drag Race is a star in the movie, and it was so funny.
Oh, I did not know she had a movie coming out. No,
Yeah.
and recapping RuPaul's Drag Race would be great. You would be excellent at that. It's
Thank
such a
you.
great show.
Yeah.
It's an amazing show. I mean, it deserves all the Emmys that it's won over the years.
100%, 100%. So, thank you so much telling me and my audience a little bit more about you. Let's jump into episode 5 of The Real Housewives of Potomac. The title of the episode is Sunshine and Sext. I was going to say text. Sunshine and Sext. And I will say off the bat, this episode felt like pure filler to me. I was like, nothing major really happened. Did you have the same thoughts watching this?
I did. I had the same thoughts. It was still fun to watch and
Mhm.
interesting. I love to see the women when they're getting along, but yeah, not a lot happened.
Yeah, this is usually the time. I've been saying this for the past couple of weeks with Potomac. They always wrote me in the beginning, so I'm like always in the first couple of episodes, and then somewhere I'm just like, "What are we doing?" They've lost the plot, and it's usually because the show just becomes unwatchable. I will say, while this felt like filler, to your point, it still was really fun, and so I was like, "Okay, I'm not gonna do what I usually do and just completely stop stop watching it. I'm gonna keep going with it because yeah, not a lot happened, but." It was really fun. So we opened the episode and they're still at their Nevis girl dinner.
Mhm.
And Ashley, I will say, she was especially grating this particular episode. Are you a fan of Ashley Darby?
No, no. I found her very interesting on the show. I mean, she's had some very interesting storylines. I understand the role that she plays in making the show, producing it to get a moment. But do I like her as a person? No. I think I still hold the Michael Darby stuff against her, and I think that she is just as deceitful as he is.
Yeah, that's super fair. And I think with Ashley, I also used to say, okay, I'm not a fan of her as a person, but I recognize that she is a necessary evil for this show. Like she
Mhm.
always had a very specific role to play within the Potomac like ecosystem or hierarchy, if you will. But I will say this episode and really this season, she's just showing up as nasty and annoying, very much like a fly that you want to just go away. She's not doing any heavy bone collecting.
Mhm.
She's not even being shady in like a funny and light way that we like from our housewives. You can tell the line of questioning that she's doing to the women. You can tell it's actually quite malicious. Like I don't know if I'm right.
No, I definitely agree. And Ashley, yeah, and I think part of it too is we don't have as much to criticize Ashley on. So
Mhm.
she's always been someone who can poke and prod in a very like lowbrow way, but we've also always had other things that she could be poked and prodded on. This season and the last season, we didn't have anything to go off of. Like she's
Right.
not sharing a lot of her life. So it feels very imbalanced watching her pick at other people's lives.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I was just like, she's a chop now. If they make an announcement that they demote her to a friend of or get rid of her altogether next season, I would be okay with that because I feel like she's really run her course unless she's ready to really talk about
Mhm.
details, which I think per her divorce, she can't really talk much about what happened with that.
I think so too. I think she probably can't even talk about co-parenting with Michael, right? Like
Mm,
that's kind of a natural thing to see when someone's divorced, is see how their life adjusts now post-divorce. I don't think she can share a lot about him. So
right.
yeah, like we're very limited. To your point, she would fit perfectly in a friend of role. That
Hmm.
I think she's remained on the show because Robin left,
Yeah.
and Gizelle does have a lot of influence, and Gizelle likes to have a sidekick, and Ashley's her new sidekick.
100%. Yeah. Saying that she would do well in a friend of role because she's almost doing the same thing that Jazzy is doing this season. They in the same boat for me. But you know who annoyed me even more
Who?
in this game? Miss Angel. And I feel like I've been whacking Angel every recap, but she's deserving.
It's deserved. It's earned.
This is when they were confronting Stacey about Chris Samuels and Ashley's. Well, even Chris Samuel said you were trying to talk to him. And Stacey's, I'm a beautiful woman. If you were a man, wouldn't you say that I was trying to date you as well? Angel goes, Chris isn't like that. Okay. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know she knew Chris. Cut to production. Oh, you know Chris Samuels? Well, he was like a mentor to my husband in college.
Yeah, that moment was so weird to me. I'm like, Angel, why are you? I don't understand why she interjected that. To your point, college. I mean, she what 37? That's 20. Come on, like why are you? That was very confusing to me. But everything about Angel has been confusing me.
She's a try hard, right? And
Yeah.
one thing audiences we do not like, we don't like people where we can see that you're trying hard. It's one thing to do it and it go undetected, whatever, but she's trying so hard and it's just not landing because you threw that in there to undercut Stacey like you had a relationship with Chris. And I'm like, were you even married to your husband when he was in college? Like, I don't know. Were
I
you?
don't know if they were even dating then. I don't know if they met in college. I think they met when he was in the league.
Yeah, because Alabama is college, right?
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I think they met in the DMV.
she is such a strange bird to me.
And
And
to
I
think
just,
a man, why? Come on, saying a man
yeah,
would do that. I mean, he wouldn't talk about a woman he dated. And we don't know that he said anything salacious about Stacey. He may have
exactly.
just mentioned they went on a date. So, like saying Chris wouldn't do that was very odd to me in itself.
Yeah, she was trying to submit herself as, oh, I'm a wag. I know all the football players. Like, and it's like, have you ever even met him? Like,
I know, like you. I think you're spot on. I think she's very tied to her identity as a wag.
100%.
That's why I think she's trying hard. I don't know if she knows who she is outside of that relationship. And
Hmm.
it's like she's trying hard, but she's also like very insecure to me.
Yeah, that's been a lot of the opinion that I've seen online about her, especially after this last episode, is that like her identity as a wag is all she has. She doesn't have anything else that she feels makes her competitive with the women. And she uses being a wag and having a husband almost as not even being competitive, but as a one up. I am a wag, I have a husband. I'm actually a step above the rest of you. And I'm of two minds with that because I'm very much okay if your sole role is being like a stay-at-home wife, stay-at-home mom, and that just happens to be because you're a wag, that is your identity. So like technically That's correct. And it's not wrong. But I think to Giselle's point, when Gizelle was like, we're bad bitches that like make our own money. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I mean? I feel like in 2025, it's a little bit antiquated to just
Yeah.
think that because you have a husband and he's a pro football player, that you're better than the other women. What are your thoughts there?
No, I think it's a good point, and I wouldn't be surprised if most of her experience in groups of women have been with other WAGs. So she's used to that being a thing and that helping her garner respect and friendship and camaraderie. And you're right. In this group, they're like, we don't care. Also, he's retired. It's not like she's married to, I don't know, Tom Brady in his prime. Like
I was
she was
gonna say LeBron James, but that's the NBA.
LeBron. If this is Savannah James, yeah, they're gonna all probably bow down. One, because of his stature and also the money that the James family has. But her husband, it's like he's not known by normal everyday women and he's
Mm-mm.
not currently playing. But I think the other thing with her is 10-year starter thing. So when she made the comment in the last episode, when Jazzy was talking about her fiance, and she made the sidebar of, oh yeah, my husband started for 10 years, and Wendy said, oh, that's shady. I didn't think it was shady, but now this episode, I'm like, okay, I think it is. Because
Ooh.
the 10-year starter thing to WAGs means something. To us, not in that lifestyle, it's who cares? I don't care. But I think to the WAGs, your husband being a 10-year starter helps elevate your position. So I do think she was trying to one up Jazzy. Is we're not the same. Like we're both a WAG, but I'm different than you.
Ooh, that's a great callback to that because when I recapped that episode, I said I don't think she said it in a shady way either. I actually think production and the editing team cut it to make it seem shadier than it actually was. But like you're calling back to it, that is a status thing. And then now you're making me remember in a previous episode when they asked her about Jazzy's boyfriend, or I'm sorry, Jazzy's husband, and they were like, they asked something about him like being on the bench. Is that a bad thing? And Angel cackled. And then she was like, well, everyone, has their own contributions to the team, but there is a status. You are so right about that.
But I agreed with you when I first saw that episode. I thought the same. I thought, I don't really think that's shady. I don't think we understood. But now that
Mhm.
we understand a little more, understand Angel, I'm like, oh, I think she was being shady.
Yeah, she 100% will. Ooh, you've been clocked again for the millionth time, Angel. So the next thing we get into is Wendy's happy birthday powwow. They're back at their hotels or their villas, and Ashley once again is doing all the questioning. Ashley is so funny to me because any opportunity that she has to bring up girl on girl sexual action, she's always ready. And I'm like, that is a bisexual queen. As much as I give her, she's
Yes,
very true to being her bisexual self, and I live for that. That
she
part.
is. And it's funny that honestly, she's used that in some ways to disarm people. I remember the season where her and Wendy had their little thing. Like
Mhm.
I definitely see her, even in maybe the first two seasons. I think she had a moment where she was grabbing Gizelle and Robin's butts, and
Yep.
like she always, I think she does that almost to connect with other women at times.
Mhm. Ooh, her and her ex-husband love grabbing butts. Interesting.
Oh yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Not to
And
mention.
right, and then into that question, she was asking Wendy if she had ever thought about anybody sexually, but the biggest revelation was Tia having revealing that she has a crush on Rachel Maddow.
Yeah, that was
Random.
maybe she's attracted to the intelligence. I don't know. I mean, also Rachel's kind of masculine presenting.
Mhm, mhm.
I also love that Tia felt comfortable saying that on TV and owning it. I mean, I like that. I think that displays a high level of self confidence.
Yeah, it's definitely like a hear me out. You know that trend on social media where it's like hear me out and you reveal an obscure crush.
Yeah.
That you have do you have any hear me outs?
Oh, ones I want to say. I feel like I don't have any that where the people are okay. My main hear me out is Robert De Niro at a certain time frame in the
Mm,
mid 90s, like Goodfellas, Robert De Niro in Casino, Heat. That is my hear me out. I think he was very attractive then with the facial hair. He's my
mhm.
hear me out.
I can totally see that. That's valid. Okay, I'll let that one ride. I'm gonna say my hear me out.
Okay, who?
Gordon Ramsay.
Oh, I well, is it looks or personality?
It's the whole of it. I feel like the personality makes him look good to me.
I can see that. I mean, a stern, direct. assertive man. I think he'd probably be a good husband too.
I think so. His wife seems very happy. They have a loads of children. He makes loads of money. I feel like every time I turn around, he has another TV show or another restaurant open. I've gone to 2 of his restaurants in the last couple years. Yeah, that's Gordon Ramsay's might hear me out. Whatever.
Okay, I can see that. I think when you say Gordon Ramsay, I immediately thought Guy Fieri. Fieri.
No, diners, drive-ins, and no. Flavor Town.
Gordon Ramsay, yeah, that's better. I can see that with Gordon. And you're right. Him and his wife just had a baby like 2 or 3 years ago or something.
Yeah. So they get to it. She makes the most out of the little bit of time that she gets to spend with him. She's, what I'm here for.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. Okay. Angel also had a little moment during this like birthday thing when they moved over and they were kind of sitting down having a little powwow. Wendy asked Angel if she could kill anybody in the room, who would she kill? And she said Gizelle.
I'm happy she was honest.
I'm happy she was honest too. And it gave her a moment to what I felt was like take back her power from the whole catfish conversation.
Yes.
Which I thought she did until we get to like a scene or two later and realize she actually didn't. But in this scene though, particularly Gizelle, what I want to say about what Gizelle did in this scene was so interesting. When she was in her confessional after Angel said she would kill her, and Gizelle goes, I would love to be murdered by Angel because at least if she kills me, I'll know she has a pulse.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that doesn't bode well for Angel in a possibility of a season 2. Because if Gizelle is clocking that you're having a shitty season,
yep,
what do you think production is going to think?
Yes. And you can almost see Gizelle's point of view is the same as productions. And I think Gizelle, now being 10 seasons in, she kind of reminds me of Nene back in the day, where she cares about the quality of the show.
Mm-hmm.
And I think sometimes the new women come on the show thinking this is a show where we're going to get to know Gizelle and be her friend, where Gizelle is here to make sure the show is good. Like, she cares about the output of the show. Yeah. And that's why I don't think she actually dislikes Stacey. She likes to poke at Stacey, but I think she recognizes Stacey is a good addition to the cast.
Mm-hmm.
And she doesn't care on, I don't think she cares on a personal level, do I like these women or not? I think she looks at it strictly from production. Are they good for the show? So I think she doesn't like Angel because she thinks Angel's boring. That is her issue with Angel.
That's a great point. And I can totally see that because what we know about Gizelle, that's her job. She's clocking in, she's clocking out. When she's done, when filming is done, she's done, right? She moves on with her life. And so you're absolutely right. It's like that story of Real Housewives of Atlanta, the season that Demetria McKinney and Claudia Jordan were on. And initially, Demetria was supposed to be a full-time wife, and Claudia was going to be the friend of. They go to, I think it's Puerto Rico, when they have the infamous curled, folded under. When they have that, and then Claudia and Nene have their infamous back and forth. The legend has it, Nene goes to production after they had that argument and was like, y'all hired the wrong bitch. That's the one that should be full-time right there. Because she liked that Claudia was ready to go back and forth with her. Mm-hmm. Very similar to what you just described about Gizelle with Stacey. I'll feud with you because it's fun for me. And I can also see that you're having fun with this because you're not, Stacey ain't taking it seriously.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think that's a great example with Nene and Claudia. I've heard the same story, and I do think it's that. And I wonder too if, again, I find Angel so confusing, so I have tons of theories, but I do wonder if part of why she's showing up this way is she expected the women to treat this more like a friendship group and less like a TV show production. Mm-hmm. And she's surprised at the fact that they're maybe not really trying to get to know her in a genuine way. I don't, and I do also feel like, I think it's the energy Gizelle has in her position. The women always come on the show and want Gizelle to like them. They all come on here and want Gizelle to befriend them. And I feel like they get in their feelings when Gizelle does not give them that.
100%. I said that a couple recaps ago. Gizelle is the Regina George, Isis from Bring It On, Shara from Clueless. She's the girl in high school that like you want nothing more than to sit at the lunch table with her and be clicked up with her. Like that is it. You see it so clearly. Every woman that comes onto that show, their goal is to become friends with Gizelle. And I mean, shout out to Gizelle for having that energy. And one thing about Gizelle, you can tell that that's been Gizelle's position her entire life.
I agree. No? I agree. I think she's always been that girl. Uh-huh. Gizelle has that energy. She has a lot of confidence about herself, and she's very secure with herself. And yes, I think this has probably been something she's experienced her whole life.
Yeah, 100%. I think to your point about Angel wanting them to approach this as like a friendship, I think when you're a WAGs very much from what we were able to see. I don't know if you watched the show WAGs. They have a WAG
Mhm.
show,
I did.
a couple of different iterations too, but they do treat it kind of like a sisterhood. Like they are very friendly and it's a big group because they have this shared experience and probably because Angel is so used to that coming into something like being a real housewife, that's also a very exclusive shared experience. Like not many people are going to say they're a real housewife in their lifetime. So I think she also came in there with, okay, WAGs, we're friends, we're sisters. Real housewives, we're going to be friends or sisters. That's not the game they play though. That's
Yep.
not the game they play.
I agree. That's a good point. You're right. I think
Yeah.
she had that experience, right, for probably 10 years of dealing with other women who do invest in those relationships in a genuine way. And she expects that with the Potomac Housewives, and she's not getting it.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because I think, and we can even move on to the next scene the next morning because I wanted to bring this up too. When she said, Gizelle, I looked at you like a big sister. I was scratching my head. I was like, what happened? Did something happen off camera that would make you think that she was like a big sister to you?
Same. I wondered the same. Because Gizelle doesn't have a track record of reaching out to the women. Karen did that quite well. She did that a
Mhm.
lot. And I think Stacey said she tried to do that with Angel. I don't see Gizelle doing that. So I'm like you. I was like, what happened that made her think that? I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, she wanted Gizelle to be like a big sister to her,
Hmm.
but yeah, it was. I don't know why she said that. I was so confused, and judging on like the tweets and videos about it, other people were as confused. Okay, girl, that it never gave big sister, but kudos to you. I will say on the flip side though, with Angel, I did feel bad for her in that scene, like crying because while she was not being body shamed, and I think she is because she's feeling an overall insecurity within herself. She just had a baby, like what 19 months ago. When they showed that flashback picture of her when she used to do on camera work, she was really slim and all of that. She's gained weight, right? It's probably baby weight, but you can tell that she's a woman that's feeling really uncomfortable in her body right now, a little insecure about it. So I think any type of attack on her looks, she's going to assume that it's her entire physical being.
Yeah.
So when she was crying about that, I'm glad that Gizelle called it out and was like, I wasn't body shaming you. I was
Hmm.
talking about the face tune because you are beautiful. You don't need to edit your face to look like Eva Marcel. But I felt her in that moment because I was like, as women, our bodies change so much. I'm in the process now, transparently, COVID happened. I gained a couple pounds. I didn't really take it seriously with getting it off. And now I'm at the point where I'm like, oh, I'm on camera more. I need to make sure I get back to my fighting weight. And like, I need to make sure my hair, like my makeup, all of that is so hard when you're a woman because people are going to pick you apart. And especially on a stage like the Real Housewives.
Yeah.
So she's feeling a lot of pressure. So I felt bad for her in that moment. How did you feel?
No, I felt very sympathetic. Like you're saying, as women, we can all relate. I mean, I myself, I've been every size in the book. And I feel like I picked up on that too. She's in a transitional phase of her life. She did just have a baby less than 2 years ago. They moved from Colorado to here. I don't know if it was for the show, if it was, yada, 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 but a lot of things are changing and her body is changing. And I agreed. I think she was emotional because her body is a sore spot for her.
Hmm.
And I think she's aware that maybe these pictures don't look like herself day to day. But again, she's probably not comfortable like putting herself out there.
Yeah.
But so I think it's very hard for her to be on the show in this phase of her life. Like
Yeah.
I wonder if we would get a different Angel in 3 years than the Angel we're getting today, because it does
Yes.
feel like she's bringing a lot of emotional baggage that's like making it hard for her to connect with the women and connect with the audience.
Mhm. Mhm. No, you're absolutely right about that, and that's a great point because I know we're saying she's probably gonna be a one and done, but if they gave her, like, another season or 2, the tides might turn in her favor,
Yeah, they
you
could.
know?
Yeah.
There's so many factors too, and I'm also, remembering when they were getting ready to go on this trip, she said this is going to be the first time that she's away from her babies.
Uh-huh.
So she's also, yeah, you're out of town, like you're in another country, away from your children and your husband, with for what seems like the first time. Then you got this lady calling you out for using Facetune. Like, it's an all around uncomfortable situation. It will probably make most people be like, I'm actually ready to go home.
Yes.
But I'm glad she didn't leave, because at least we know she'll stay and take her lashings, for lack of a
Yes.
better phrase.
But I also think, like you're saying, this is a whole new experience in filming. What I've seen the housewives talk about filming these group trips, it's pretty grueling. A lot of them take a vacation after the group trip because you're traveling. They had a very long travel day. You're filming around the clock. They're filming from morning to night. It's like pretty exhausting. And I don't think they have a lot of time to themselves to decompress. So I think that adds to being in a weaker emotional state.
Yeah, it does. I can see that. Everything, when you're tired and you're annoyed and you're irritated, you probably, you're drinking a little bit more. Maybe you're not eating as much as you should be. Like, yeah, it sounds like hell. It really
Yeah.
does sound like hell. So, giving her grace for that, but even when they were back in Potomac, it was still like,
But okay, one last thing I'll say about Gizelle
yes.
in the scene. I believe that Gizelle, like you say, approaches this like a job. And I think Gizelle is like emotionally detached from this in the show. I think she was surprised Angel was crying. I think she was almost like, girl, I was playing. Like, I was doing this for the cameras. Like, I think she was taken aback that Angel wasn't in on the joke with her.
That's a great point. And I could totally see that being Giselle's disposition in that moment. Because even when she asked her, she's like, "You crying?"
Yeah, right. I mean, I didn't, it was sad, but I did laugh a little.
Yeah.
Gizelle was almost like, what's happening? Like, she was very shocked.
Yeah. And also too, I don't know. I don't know if it's just me. Maybe it's like immaturity, pride. I would never let somebody see me sweat like that. If you call me out at a table, I'm not crying to you the next day, girl. You'll never know that it hurt me.
Same. I'll call my husband. I'll call my mom, my best friend. I'm the same way. Gizelle is not her support system.
Exactly. And then, so they go down by the pool. All the ladies are talking. It seems like people are trying to get to the bottom of Angel and why she's crying. And then Ashley and Kay, they go off and they're talking about it. Kay was discussing her issue with Jazzy, and Jazzy like getting in on other beefs that Kay might have, like with Wendy and stuff like that. I'm not gonna lie to you, Kristen. I think I glazed over at the scene because I'm just like, hey, I'm done. I'm so tired of it. I'm so sick of it, sweetie.
You're right. That's Kay's problem. I think the audience is checking out on her a little. Like, we're tuning her out because we're not getting her personality is very static. It's always annoyed, frustrated, angry. We're not getting any other sides to her. So it's like we're just sort of tuning her out. I felt the same way. Again, the stuff with Jazzy feels like something that you need to just let roll off your back. This is a housewife show. You're always going to have bickering here and there.
Yeah. It's a shame with Kay though, because I want to like her. I think we're the same age or around the same age, both mid 30s. She dresses really cute. She's a cute girl. There's so many things about her that I'm like, I want to root for you so badly, Kay, but you're just rubbing so many people the wrong way. And I think you summed it up perfectly. The audience is starting to tune her out. Because what else are we going to get from you? Is it going to be for the rest of the season? You're on a rampage against everybody on the damn cast?
Yeah.
We're sick of it. You need some new material, okay? That's why, honestly, I couldn't tell you like verbatim what they were talking about. Because like she came on, I saw how she looked in that outfit though. I was like, yes, ma'am. I love that for you, but don't care about anything else.
Yeah, that's a perfect summation. I also root for Kay. I liked her in the previous seasons. She also owns her own business. Like, she's from the DMV area. Again, like, she's on the younger side. She had this relationship that seemed like it was going somewhere. Like, she was a great addition as like an archetype for Potomac. And she would probably have helped the show elevate and go in a different direction over the next few years if her role was a bit more solidified. So I do find it really disappointing. And I kind of wonder, we are missing Karen. And I'm almost wondering, Karen was like her mentor, quote unquote.
Yeah.
If Karen was there, did Karen steer her out of this? Has this always been there, but maybe Karen would always pull her to the side? Because I think we did see Karen in the past seasons pull her to the side and say, like, hey, move this way. I wonder if that's the case because that is what Kay's missing. I think the only people that could do it would maybe be Gizelle, maybe
Yeah.
Ashley, but
Mhm.
no one's really put her to the side and said, you're messing up your position on the show by how you're like approaching the relationships with the women.
That's an amazing point. That is a really good point. I don't think Gizelle would be the one to do it.
Mhm.
Ashley definitely is not going to do it because Ashley's, I'm trying to save my own spot. I think another point with Kay that might be the same point with Angel. Are they just too young for this forum? They're both in their, I mean, Ashley is their age, but Ashley also dated a much older man and she's been around for a while. Do you think maybe Angel and Kay are just a little too young for this group right now?
I could see that. I definitely could see that. You're right. They're both like maybe 36, 37. They
Hmm.
aren't Ashley's age, but it could be that. It could be a maturity thing. Maybe they're also not accustomed to spending time with women who aren't just like them.
Yeah.
We know that may be the case with Angel. Maybe they're not used to spending time with women who are older or in different phases of their life. I mean, it does feel like they have a wall up, and maybe the age thing is part of the issue.
Yeah, that could be it. So the next scene, they are doing the Hamilton tour. Nothing really happens here. I just wanted to bring it up because I love Hamilton and it's like my one of my favorite musicals. And seeing that they were in the house was super cool.
Yeah, same. It was cute that Ashley's, I think she said Dylan loves musicals.
Yeah.
Very excited. I thought that was cute. But that was about it. I mean, Angel did say in the scene that she's good. The only person she feels like good with is Kay. And I think she was upset when they were like laughing and joking. Like she said she was telling Kay she's annoyed that the other women were having fun in this moment, like laughing and joking. So
Fun. Okay, fun police. Like, dang.
yeah.
Because you want to be a wet blanket, everybody else has to be one as well. Come on, Angel. But that's what I mean. Immaturity. Because only if somebody with a childlike view of how social dynamics work will be annoyed that other people are having fun just because they're having fun.
And on vacation, I don't care if I am annoyed, I'm still going to have a good time. Like, I'm going to enjoy this excursion and experience and put the rest behind me. And listen, I think you have to do that anytime you're on a girls' trip,
Yeah.
reality show or not. Like, I honestly, girls' trips in general are hard with what, like 8 women? A fight is bound to break out. You got to know how to move on from it.
So back at the villas, Wendy calls Ashley out for coming to Giselle's rescue when they were like trying to get info on Giselle's dating life. I thought this was really smart of Wendy and also very brave of her because she's still just building her relationship, her friendship with Giselle. So to then bring this back around and be like, hey, we were getting some tea. What did you think about that scene and Wendy doing that?
No, I loved it too. I was also very surprised. It showed some boldness from Wendy. I felt
Mhm.
like Wendy, like a lot of the women, wants Giselle to be their friend and like them.
Yeah.
And I felt like she might have been tiptoeing a little from last season and this season. So I'm happy to see her call them both out in that moment because ultimately the more tenured women are the best at calling each other out. I don't think the tenured women take call outs from newer women as seriously. Like they dismiss it.
Mm.
So Wendy was the only person to make that call out in that moment. And it also felt genuine where it was like, Wendy's, I want you to share more about your dating life, Gizelle. It's not just I want to expose you. It's also, girl, just open up a little.
Yeah, if we're friends, I want to be let in a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think to that point too, with Wendy and Giselle, it's very clear that Wendy is Giselle's friend. Do you really think that Giselle is Wendy's friend?
I don't think Gizelle makes friendships this quickly. Like her, I
Mhm.
think her and Ashley are friends now, and I think that took 7 or 8 seasons. I think that's Gizelle. I don't think she can become friends with Wendy after 2 seasons of being in a better place. I think they're coworkers. I think they have a better relationship, but I don't. I know Gizelle actually called Wendy a friend, though. I think in that
Mhm.
in the
Mhm.
confessional, but I don't. I think we might have a different definition of friend.
I think she's trying in her Giselle way because, like, in the scene when Wendy wasn't feeling well, Giselle did go out and check
Mhm.
on her. So I was like, that's friendly,
Yeah,
right? But I think that's also if you're just a genuinely like kind-hearted person and someone's sick, you want to go see how they are. So I don't know if that confirms that she's her friend, but it was a friendly gesture
yeah.
from Giselle. And there's a scene though that I think of anytime I see Wendy just so giddy and happy that Giselle is her friend. I think back to the scene, I forget which season it was, but they were at a party. I think they were at Candace's denim party. They were
Yeah.
on like a rooftop or something.
Uh-huh.
Wendy and Gizelle were feuding bad, and Giselle's already at the party. Wendy comes in and she's greeting everyone. She walks up to Gizelle. Giselle's at the bar, and Giselle's like, like she was chopped liver. If I'm Wendy, every time I think I want to be friends with Gizelle, that will play back in my mind like, oh, you treated me like I was a rabied bat.
Yeah, I don't think I could ever get over that. I remember that scene. The way that Giselle and Robin treated Wendy in a couple of those seasons was so nasty and
Mm-hmm.
uncalled for. You would have
Mm-hmm.
thought she slept with their man. I mean, kudos to Wendy for being able to move forward. That is also the mark of a good housewife.
Yep.
Unfortunately, you have to be able to move forward and let it go. We see that with Teresa, Joe, and Melissa. In the real world, if I'm Wendy, I'm never getting over that. But in Housewives world, I think it helps you solidify your position when you can't get over that.
That's actually such a good point. I love that you said that. That's very true. That's the problem that we're having with Kay. There's no moving on. Like you said, it's very static. With Wendy, is okay. I might not fully trust this woman when the cameras aren't rolling, but we have nothing that we're actively beefing about this season. Why not be friends for this? Like, why not be housewife friends?
Mm-hmm.
I love that. Good point. Stacey, when Stacey was sexting her husband, Ashley was trying to be shady about it. I totally took that as like he was joking with her when he said, "I think you have the wrong number."
I agree. I've read some things about German people. Specifically, they did Love is Blind Germany, and I ended up reading a lot about how they approach love. And Germans have a very different way of communicating,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what she said. She was like TMO or Tian. I can't think of how you say his name.
Tamo,
I think
Tamo,
that's right.
yeah.
She just said, "Oh, he's German." That's just how he jokes. Their communication's different. So yes,
Mhm.
I think Ashley was trying to be shady, but I believe what Stacey was saying is this is just how he is.
I believe it too. I also like, as beautiful as Stacey is, she doesn't give me like sexy or like sexual. So it's, if I was him and she sent sex with me, I'll be like, April Fools, like, why are you playing on my phone?
Exactly. No, you're right. Stacey doesn't she doesn't give seductive, right? Like
Right.
that's not Stacey's energy. Ashley does, right? I
Yep.
think any man that dates Ashley gets that. But I also didn't think that he was being shady or anything because we did see this scene with them in the earlier in the season, and I didn't feel like that was fake. Like I did feel like there was a genuine interest and chemistry there on his part. So I have no reason to believe the text messages say anything about the relationship.
I agree with you there. So then we get to dinner at Sunshine's, and this is like the final scene of the show, which is typically, of the episode, which is typically reserved for like setting up the next episode or something big to come. I think a couple of things happened here, but it wasn't super explosive to me. Angel asking if she was on the menu again. I thought that was funny. I actually thought it was like, okay, Angel, are you learning
Mm-hmm.
a little bit with this? I also think too there was an expectation, like when she said that, I think her expectation was that Gizelle was going to be like, "No, we squashed it," and all that. And Giselle's like, "The night is young."
Yeah.
That's why this is the queen bee of this franchise.
Gizelle said, "You're gonna earn this check. I'll take
Hmm.
that." Like,
She was like, "Don't put your defenses down just yet, girl, because I could still sting you if I wanted to." And then of course, Kay and Jazzy, they have it out again. I want to know what Kay said about Wendy. Like, they've been teasing us for 2 episodes.
yeah, and I hate that they're teasing us because I feel like it's gonna be something mundane. Like she's gonna say Wendy's fake or something. Like
Hmm. Hmm.
I don't know what explosive information she could have. So I agree, and I'm not getting any clear hints from her.
Yeah.
Is it about Eddie? Is it about her family? Is it about money?
What if what she said about Wendy was about insurance? What if she accused her of lying about the robbery? I'm reaching so hard right now.
I mean, you never know. You never know. She could. I mean, because the one thing about normally when people do stuff like that is like the streets talk.
Mhm.
We didn't hear anything when the situation with Wendy when they had the robbery, but a lot of times, like when you do something that's fraudulent, allegedly, the streets talk and you hear rumors. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
'Cause the way, like, they ended the episode with Jazzy talking about whatever Kay said, and if Wendy knew what she said, she would be mad. That's what production asked her, like, if Wendy knew, would she be mad? And it's like, yes, she would be mad. So I'm like, they're setting this up to be like something big.
Yeah, and I don't know because you have certain people like Ashley where you know what they're going to poke at. It's probably going to be your relationship.
Right.
Hey, I don't really know what she uses as ammo.
Mm.
So she's already called her fake. So it
Yeah.
can't be that. It can't be a content. It maybe it's what Wendy said about other people in the cast, but we've already heard that be exposed too.
That's true.
I don't know. I don't know. There haven't been any leaks about this season, which is a great thing. So I don't know. That's a good question.
I guess we shall see in the upcoming episode. So, any final thoughts about episode 5 of the Real Housewives of Potomac?
Just like you said in the beginning, I'm enjoying it. These seasons always start off pretty strong though, but I am still enjoying it. I've enjoyed seeing the dynamics with the new women. I'm really enjoying seeing Gizelle get along with Wendy and sort of getting along with Stacey. I feel like Gizelle has an energy about her where she can shift the room. Where she's
Mhm.
angry and bitter, it just affects the whole dynamic. So when she's having fun and feeling lighthearted, the show feels fun and lighthearted. So I do like that. And ultimately, I'm still interested in getting to know Angel and Kay more, if
Mhm.
only to figure them out. I'm interested to get some questions in my mind answered.
Same. I'm in the same boat. I mean, we have them at least for the rest of the season. If they'll be back for another season, we don't know. But I think we have a lot more season left. And it would be nice to just get to know them outside of each other and then outside of like just being wet blankets all the time. So I'm totally with you on that. Before I let you go though, do you have time to play a game with me?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay. This game is called Dinner Party Guest List, right? This is if you were hosting your dream dinner party. Like you get to have a chef of your choice, the decorations, like the vibe, everything is perfect. You get to invite 5 reality TV stars. Who are you inviting?
Have to go Nene first because
Absolutely.
she's so interesting. She's so funny. I think Nene would be a great dinner party guest. So I'm going to go Nene. The second is Bob the drag queen from RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yes.
Love Bob. I stand Bob. The second is Monet Exchange, Bob's best friend from RuPaul's
Yes.
Drag Race.
Monet.
Yes, Monet. I love the both of them. Number 4 would be no one from Jersey, no one from OC. I want to say Carlos King, but he's not on reality TV. I'd love to have him.
But he's the king of reality TV. You can have him.
I would love to have him to learn more about production and secrets.
Yes.
And I think last is Bethany.
Ooh.
She has an interesting perspective on reality TV. I mean, ultimately, she was like, she's on the Mount Rushmore of Real Housewives, and she approached it like a business. And I would love to talk with her more about her perspective on like what is the best method to being a housewife in terms of TV and how to approach it when it's filming, but also like outside the show.
Yeah, that's a really good one. So we got Nene Leakes, Bob the Drag Queen, Monet Exchange, Carlos King, and Bethany.
Yeah.
That is a good one. Didn't Bethany and Nene have a podcast called like Bethanini or something like that?
They were supposed to. They did
Okay.
one episode and then nothing else happened, but they were supposed to.
Ask them what happened at your dinner party. I
I
need to
know.
know.
I want to know. I'm very curious. They're both two people with very strong personalities, I think, who would have a very hard time working together long term. So I'm not.
100%. Yeah, 2 bulls like completely locking horns.
Mhm. What about for you? Yeah. Who were your 5?
It's always so hard. I know Nene is gonna be on there, and I
Mhm.
feel like Nene is a given because me and Chef Naya from Hell's Kitchen, we did the same thing. Nene was on her list also.
Yeah.
So Nene, Tiffany Pollard, New
Mm,
York for
that's good.
sure. She's gonna be on there. Jada Essence Hall from RuPaul's Drag Race.
Uh-huh.
'Cause she's my hometown queen. We're both from Milwaukee, so definitely would have her there. Ooh, Alan Cumming, the host of The Traders.
Yeah, he would be great.
Yeah, I want him just 'cause like, I need to see the outfits. I feel like between him and Jada Essence Hall, it'll be like the outfits would be so crazy. So yeah. Nene, New York, Alan Cumming, Jada Essence Hall, and I have one more. I always ask you guys this, not realizing how hard it is to narrow it down.
No, you're like all the shows, all the possibilities.
Ashley Hollis, the most recent winner
Okay.
of Big Brother.
She's
Um,
interesting. Yeah, she'd be a
she
good guest.
Yeah, she is interesting, and I just think her win on Big Brother was so controversial. Like, it's one of the more controversial wins in like recent history, like the new age of Big Brother. So I would love to talk to her just about how she's handling that. I actually shamelessly I reached out to Ashley to interview her. She left me on red, or actually maybe she didn't see it. Maybe she didn't see it. I don't think she saw the DM, but I would love to talk to her
Yeah, and
about how she's feeling.
maybe try again in a few weeks when things like settle down because
Yeah.
the Big Brother stars don't become huge celebrities like other shows. Like
Mhm.
she's getting a lot of attention now, but maybe in a couple weeks things will kind of go back to normal for her.
Yeah, I'll probably try again, girl. I get left on red so much with doing this. When I was a producer, it happened as a producer. So I'm like, I don't even take it personally anymore. It's just always funny because you're right. Once you like circle back around, most of the time you will be able to like you'll get a chance to talk to the person that you want to talk to. So I'll
Yep.
give it a couple weeks. But it's been lovely having you on. Thanks for coming to talk to me. Can you tell people where they can find you and follow you if they'd like to?
Yeah, thank you for having me. So I post on TikTok. My name is Kristen Starks, just the way you see it on the screen. I talk a lot about Real Housewives and stuff on Bravo. And yeah, that's the main place to find me.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for tuning in for another Real Housewives of Potomac recap. Like I said, this episode was a filler episode, but we still have fun watching it. So make sure you guys go and follow Kristen and then come back next week because I'm going to have another one of my favorite creators on to talk about more Real Housewives of Potomac. I'll see you soon. Bye.